Hello. Had a chance to have a ride in an Uber a couple of weeks ago. I was visiting family in the States and having some rather exciting conversations about try praying, but also seeing family, which was really nice. And in the Uber, I got talking with the driver, and we talked about music and this, that, and the other. But it turned out he was a Muslim, and he wanted to talk about such things. And we talked about, or rather we discovered that in Islam, people don't actually believe that Jesus was crucified, but that it was possibly Judas or Simon of Cyrene or a Roman soldier that was crucified. It just appeared that it was Jesus. And so he didn't die, and he went straight to heaven. So that's what people in Islam believe about Jesus. And the verse that I'm asked to speak about is this in 1 Peter 1:3, where Peter says, "Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. In his great mercy, he has given us new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead." So it's fascinating just to think about the whole thing about the resurrection. I remember when I was a student and working my way through to the faith in Jesus, that one of the critical things for me was the evidence for the resurrection, and contrasting that with the Islamic view of Jesus' death or lack of it. You have to say that I'd far rather go with the testimony of four written eyewitnesses of the Gospels rather than somebody else who wrote 600 years after the event. So you got the eyewitness accounts of the death and resurrection of Jesus in the Gospels and in the letters as well. And Peter's talking about the resurrection just here. And he, of course, was a witness to it. He saw Jesus die, and he saw Jesus, the empty tomb, and he saw Jesus alive from the dead over a period of 40 days. So here he is, he's writing to believers scattered across the whole area of Asia Minor. And he says he's kind of bursting with life in this. He says, "Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ." And he speaks about being born again into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus. I have to dive into this for just a moment. One of the little tiny details that makes it all just ring true for me was the resurrection appearances and the discovery of the empty tomb when Peter and John went running along to see whether the tomb was empty or not. And of course, the only little alternative explanation of the resurrection as to how it didn't happen is actually in Matthew's Gospel, where it says that the disciples came and stole the body. So then you've got John's Gospel. Peter and John are running to the tomb and they look inside and they see, guess what? They see the grave clothes and actually folded grave clothes. And it's just a tiny little detail. If there really was some body snatching going on, you would not unwrap a body. You wouldn't unzip a body bag and take the body out and leave the body bag there. You'd take the whole thing. Just a tiny little detail that makes it all ring so true as authentic testimony that the resurrection of Jesus really did happen. So what's Peter say about it here in these verses? Just kind of three really quick things. He says, first of all, it's for us. You know, it wasn't just an event in history, but there's something that we're included in it. He said he's given us new birth. So Peter, by this stage, he's saying, look, the whole message of Jesus is for people, and the resurrection of Jesus is for people, and we are part of that. This is for us. So it's not just an event in history, it actually affects us. And the second thing is he says that we've been given new birth. New birth. So I don't remember my first birth very much, but Peter's saying that we've been given a new life, a new quality of life, and we have a new way to live because of what Jesus did through the resurrection. That it makes us behave differently, it makes us think differently, it makes us act differently. And Peter's just emphasizing that we've been given a new birth into, and then the third thing is it's a living hope. It's a living hope. So it's not a dead hope. It's not something that has happened and come and gone, as it were, in the past, but it's a living hope, something which is for now and reaching into the future, that we have a living hope. Now, I don't know how you feel about life today or this week or these days, as it were, the strange times in which we live. But we can say on the basis of this and the certainty of the resurrection, there is something good coming down the tracks. There is something better than we've ever experienced. And the reality of the resurrection of Jesus and our new birth and our participation in this by faith is that we are part of a totally new way of living, and the best is yet to come. So what difference is that going to make to us today? Well, let's anticipate the good things that are coming down the tracks, whether it's in this life or in the next life. But there are some good things that are coming our way, and we are born again into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Thanks for listening if you have.